Good morning, Yankees Nation. This is Ken, and you are here with the ugly truth. Today, going to do a little bit of hodgepodge. Would like to see folks come up and do some actual panel time with me this morning. Uh, I want to give a shout out to some of the folks that have been here. Jonathan was on with me talking a little bit of pregame. Shout out to Cold Italian Pizza, Joe from Yankees Mania, and Lou. Thank you for hopping on board. I appreciate you supporting the channel. Uh, as the banner says, this is going to be Let's Talk Baseball today. So it's going to be open to a variety of topics. I am going to do like a quick hodgepodge of tonight's game. Just a couple of info notes. The Orioles announced their pitcher for tonight's game, and I'll bring some of his stats up. I'm going to try fiddling around with a few things. Morning, Sean. Thanks for hopping in. I'm going to try to drop some screens in here, visual type stuff, and you guys let me know what you think, if it's okay. Morning, Ray. Good to see you. Thanks for hopping in. And with that being said, I am going to try my first attempt. All right. Does everyone have a view of the graphic? Just let me know in the chat. Tonight, Kyle Gibson has been announced as the starter for the Orioles. Don't know if you remember in the off season, Gibson was a pitcher with the St. Louis Cardinals. He did not get drafted until after the season started, or he did not get signed until after the season started. He ended up signing with the O's. So this entire season, he has been doing basically a spring training type workout. His last year with the Cardinals, he was 8-8. He had a 4.24 ERA, not bad. He started 30 games for him, won 169 innings, and had, I think, about 151 strikeouts. If you can see his pitch chart, he throws 6 pitches: sinker, cutter, sweeper, four-seam fastball, change, and a curve. He is willing to employ all the pitches. He is not a big velocity person, so he relies on a lot of movement. His four-seam rings up at 91 miles an hour, and his sinker, his primary pitch, is another 90.7 miles per hour. The pluses that Gibson has is a lot of off-speed run on his pitches. He has great extension, meaning that he gets a little bit more of appearance of velocity, and they don't tend to hit him hard, so he is not a high exit velocity person. So, like the pitcher that we saw last night, Sagano, you're going to probably see a guy who throws a lot of breaking pitches and is going to rely on craftiness to keep the Yankee bats off of his barrel. Last night's game, very, very aggravating. I see that Bill P has jumped in. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate you hopping in and supporting us here at the Ugly Truth. Thank you, sir. if you look at the graphic, Gibson tends to pitch middle of the plate. Hey, FJ, morning. Glad to see you, brother. And relies on that movement a lot. His highest thrown pitch is a sinker. And from last night's baseball game, you look at Sagano, who had the game of a career. Bring up Bill's comment. We lost last night's game in the first inning, bases loaded, no runs. Yeah, we had ugliness with our patience at the plate and our situational hitting. And I'm going to bring up another video or a graphic. And as you can see, our tally last night was 4-3. All the damage against us was in the first 3 innings. Will Warren, the pitcher of record, only managed to last 3 1/3 innings. And I will tell you that Yarbrough came in and he saved the bullpen bacon. Actually, Devin Williams pitched an inning and it was a clean slate. It seemed last night that we could not, didn't have the patience, could not buy a hit when we had runners in scoring position. Some of the strikeouts last night, Sagano had some great movement and run on his balls, and our guys just didn't make contact. It wasn't until we got him out of the game that we scored runs in the 7th and 8th. Then they brought that beast in, Felix Bautista, and he looked like an animal. For our Yankees last night, the alarming freaking trend that has been aggravating me all season is the growing number of strikeouts by our hitters. Last night, Jazz Chisholm, superstar, had 3 strikeouts. Jason Dominguez, 3 strikeouts. We had a total of 15 strikeouts on the night. There were other people who struck out. Judge had a pair. Goldie had a pair. There were a lot of singles. In my humble opinion, there are some of our players who should seriously consider stopping being switch hitters. Jason Dominguez being one of them. He is hitting a mere .058 against as a right-handed batter. I mean, you might as well take your chances as a left-handed hitter going up against a left-handed pitcher, because he is certainly not getting it done hitting from the right-hand side of the plate. At least you get some productivity with Oswaldo Cabrera. All right. I am going to drop our link. I'm dropping the link here in the chat, and anyone who wants to come up and talk baseball, let's do it. And if you don't want to come up, post a subject and we'll touch on it. We'll see what we have. How do you guys feel about Devin Williams' appearance last night. For me, I feel that okay. I see Joe is indicating that he'll come on in the next 10 minutes. I appreciate that. I feel that Williams being away from Yankee Stadium, he didn't have the pressure that he's had this season. The thing that I noticed is he still seems like he's overthrowing his fastball. And on the season, the Orioles are not hitting well. That freaking Yankee killer monster who had a great game, Cedric Mullins, did it to us again last night. Did it to us out in the field and at the plate. Mullins, don't know if you guys watched the game completely or if you saw the highlights where Mullins went up on the fence and took a 2-run homer away from Goldie. That was, I think, the hardest hit ball. Jesus. I'll be back in a sec. And as normal, the telemarketers are starting to call me during stream time. I think the bastards wait for me to actually get on the show to start freaking harassing me with electronic calls. They may be persecuting me personally. I see that we have Sean Browning in the background, and I'm going to bring him up. Thank you, brother.
Hey, how's it going?
Not bad, not bad.
Telemarketers are annoying, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. It's funny because I have a service called RoboNomo that's supposed to freaking screen and drop those calls, but these guys have figured a countermeasure to that, and they still seem to be getting to me. I see that John, the Beagle Dad, has hopped in. Welcome, brother. Appreciate you joining the stream. But Cedric Mullins, he played a great game. Hey, Dave. Thanks for you hopping in, and appreciate you dropping the comment. The Orioles, I mean, their best hitter was Mullins, 279 average. The next follow-up hitter, best average on the team, was Gunnar Henderson, hitting 220. Mm-hmm. So they're just not hitting well, and their numbers seasonally all rank in the bottom 10% of the league. The funny thing is, whenever a team plays the Yankees, it's like they're going to the World Series. Did you see the celebration post game after the Orioles won?
I didn't see that, but I can imagine they were like hooting and hollering.
Yeah, it was like they had won the ALCS and they were headed to the series. Incredible.
But I tell you, and that's how a lot of teams are with the Yankees. You know, because Yankees draw crowds, and then when they're bad or whatever, they just play hard because they're getting more people to the stands because they're playing the Yankees.
I will bring up a comment from FJ. Whatever Warren was throwing couldn't fool anyone, even the worst major league hitters. Well, I will tell you what, FJ, he did not have a firm control of the strike zone. When he was throwing his fastball, he was able to locate it. Every breaking pitch that he threw sat right in the middle of the plate. And I don't care how bad a how bad a hitter you are in the major leagues. You are going to tee off on those type of pitches. And
Yeah.
like I said, for the first 3 innings, they had their way. I was damn amazed that they didn't score any runs in the first inning.
Yeah. And also to the point, Warren is with his breaking pitches. If he can't locate them, you're gonna and then they're just sitting over the plate. They're gonna get hit unless not everyone can have a Charlie Morton curveball where even when he misses location, that thing will still you know miss the bat.
I'm gonna throw one out there for Warren though. He is still a prospect. He is a very young pitcher,
Yeah,
and he is learning his field. Uh, if all
he's a
things are said, and we don't have injuries to Cole and to Heel, he's not in the major leagues. He's still down there
yeah.
at
He'd be
AAA
he'd
working
be
on
in
his skill.
yeah, and he'd be in AAA tearing it up, dominating, um, and still developing. But right now he's a AAA pitcher that because we don't got anybody else because we got so many pitchers injured, he's having to be a 5 starter in the major leagues.
Completely agree. So Yankee fans need to display patience with the young lad because he is still learning his trade, and we forced him into service uh, because of the situation that we had with the injuries. Uh,
Right. And I mean, and even with Warren struggling as he is, he's given us more reliability than Stroman or sometimes Carrasco.
yeah, without a doubt, Stroman has been extremely bad for us, and personally, I would be surprised to see him back with the Yankees this season.
I
He
don't
still
know.
has
I think that
knee pain, and he's not throwing. He's not working at all at coming back. Uh,
yeah, I think he's getting Ghost IL or Phantom IL.
I don't think he's Phantom IL. I think that he actually has a problem. And I don't know. I mean, your Army time. You remember doing the PFT and people injuring themselves,
Oh
having
yeah,
knee injuries and whatnot. Long recovery
yeah,
time from anything dealing with your knees.
right. No, and I do understand with whenever you have a knee or shoulders because we use them so much, those things linger all the time. But that there are people like in the army and even you'll probably remember in the Navy, we call them malingers. They'll take one little thing and they'll just keep going to sick call.
Yeah, profiling.
Right. Did the profile just to you know, get out of it. Profile Rangers.
But long and short, I suspect that Sherman actually has a legitimate knee injury, and it's not something that he's going to bounce back from quickly. I guarantee you,
Right.
though, if he does come back this season, uh, he's not going to hit his 140 uh, 40 inning mark to activate the third year on his contract.
Right. And that was
So,
the part I'm talking about where they're gonna kind of like nurse it to the point where they're not trying to bring him back, after 15 days, after whatever.
well, if you look at Stroman last year, he did not make an injury IL list appearance.
Mm-hmm.
He pitched 154 innings last season for the boys. So that being said, that was 30 starts that he made. Obviously, him missing six weeks without him pitching deep into games, he's not going to make that trajectory. And I see my
Right.
brother Max from Max Coverage TV is joining the chat. Morning, how are you doing? Uh,
Morning, Max.
But
Feel free to hop on.
I will
Go
drop
ahead.
the link, and if Max wants to jump up, Max may be at work. I think he may be at work, so he might not have the opportunity, and may just be catching a quick listen. Uh, but with
Yeah.
that being said, the injury to Stroman, Heel, and Cole has forced our hand with us having to put Warren, who I don't think truly was uh, ready to come up. I see that Justin Custodio is hopping in. Thank you, appreciate you being here. Uh, Although our rotation this year, as well as last year, uh, started the season out pretty rough. Uh, and this year, the rotations numbers are coming down. They're looking better. We have a strong bullpen. The concern that I have with regard to us going forward is if we're not going to get length out of these pitchers, the bullpen is going to be fried by the time we hit postseason time. We have some reinforcements sitting there waiting to make their appearance for the season, like Johnny Lasagna. We have Cousins sitting there in the background. Apparently, Efros has started to throw, although I'm not sure how much I'm going to count on him because it seems like every time he throws a pitch, he goes down to the damn IL. And
Yeah.
since we made the trade for him, he hasn't been up but more than a handful of games. And we
Nah.
also have the guy that we picked up from Pittsburgh that is down there. He had the broken ribs in spring training. You remember what his name is?
Oh, it was a young pitcher, but I can't remember how to pronounce it. But I know what you're talking about.
Max has
Meshek or
got
something.
it. It's Brubaker.
Brubaker. Okay, yeah, Brubaker. Yeah. I mean
Brubaker
that's
was
tough.
bought.
Come back there off the rip.
Well, he's had the luck of the Irish too. I mean, he's taken a shot to the ribs. He had back and arm issues last season. I don't even think that he's actually made an appearance for the Yankees in a game. Uh, but he was brought in to be some of our reinforcements, and he was a quality guy that could do some spot starts for us, and we just haven't had that. And part of the reason our rotation has had some issues is the depth that we had last season just isn't there. Like I said, we have reinforcements coming back from the IL for both the starting rotation. I see that Dev Finch has hopped in. Welcome, Dev. According to the injury report, Luis Heel started his throwing program this weekend. So looking at possibly getting him back in the All-Star break time frame, which should bode well for us. It'll be like making a great trade. Hopefully, when he comes back, he is somewhat near the pitcher that he was last season. When he started to peter out last season, it was he had pitched more innings than he had ever pitched professionally, and this year, with him gearing up, hopefully he hits his peak going into the postseason, and that we will have a three-headed monster and trying to figure out who the hell the fourth starter is going to be. But for the early series, if we don't clinch the division, if we go into the wild card round, we'll have some solid arms out there in the rotation with Rodon, Freed, and hopefully Heel.
Yeah. And that's the way it is. It's kind of, we've got to wait on reinforcements. But one thing that Cashman has done pretty well, as far as in between deal, is acquiring reinforcements, even with the so-called dumpster dives. But I mean, remember Michael talking, Mr. Belding from St. Bonaventure, because he looked just like him. But he pitched phenomenally with us. Now he's with the Twins. But I mean, a lot of times he gets these guys that were like, who? And then they do well in our rotation, or I mean in our bullpen. They help reinforcements and reinforce our tired bullpen, and then they go somewhere else.
We are coming up to 30 minutes in our stream, and for those that haven't, please hit the like button. Appreciate the support, and it does good things for the channel. Right now, we are sitting at about 80 subscribers. In the not too distant future, we'd like to see that advance to 81 and hopefully up to 90 within the month or so. Bring up a comment from Max. Tim Hill was another dumpster dive with Weaver. You are never going to hear me comment about the Yankees scouting department and Cashman's ability and Matt Blake's ability to resurrect / bring bullpen arms into the fold and have them be productive members of the staff. We have CT Cards joining the stream and would like to give him a shout out. And I have Joe from NY Yankees Mania coming up, and I am going to add him to the stream. How's it going, Joe? How you doing?
Joe, you legend.
Are we doing okay? Do we have the echo problems?
Yes, we do. Unfortunately, yes. Incredible.
But
all right, you want me to drop you down?
But Luke Weaver, though, it seems like the force is strong with him. It's funny because his name Luke. I know they love riding off the Star Wars puns. Darth Vader when he's in there.
Luke Weaver actually was in the KBO and came to the major leagues and signed with Arizona. He was one of their starters for a lot of years, and he didn't have the overpowering stuff. I don't remember where he went to after that, but he was a bullpen guy. And when he came to the Yankees, Blake adjusted his grip. A simple adjustment of the grip has resulted in an uptake in his velocity, a hell of a lot more movement on his pitches. Blake is a top caliber pitching coach, and we're lucky to have him.
No doubt about it. I mean, and that's why part of me is not too worried with Devin Williams. I know he historically struggles, and that he'll find it again with the help of Matt Blake and even. But the one thing that really does irritate me with Devin Williams is why in the world he doesn't use that cutter anymore. Because with Milwaukee, for the longest time, he was a 3-pitch guy. The cutter, the fastball, and then the airbender. Change-up. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. However, being a back into the rotation type of guy, we had Mo for almost 20 seasons, and Mo threw a cut fastball.
That's the only pitch he threw.
Well, he was a 5-pitch pitcher as a starter.
Mm-hmm.
but people knew what was coming, and they still couldn't hit the damn pitch.
Still couldn't hit it. Or if they did hit it, most of the time it was, bloop singles or, very rarely
So
with someone got a hold of it.
a pitcher can pitch in the back end of the rotation with one or two pitches, but the key element that you have to have is control of those pitches. As Devin Williams has been throwing this season, it appears that he has no idea where the damn fastball is going.
Yeah.
The other thing that I've seen is he doesn't seem to have as much movement on his on his breaking pitch. Yep, on the changeup, and it's nowhere near the strike zone. So hitters are sitting there looking dead red. They are waiting for that fastball. Yeah. And when they see the changeup take an uptick, they know that that's not the pitch, and they let it ride.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, well, I mean, look at Aroldis Chapman. He could throw 103, 104, 105, but the man was wild as all get out. I mean, he couldn't even hit the strike zone if it was as wide as a broad zone, on broadside of a barn.
And that's the book on some of these pitchers that have high velocity stuff, is their ability to actually control it. You've got the young arm there in Arizona, Justin Martinez, that we saw. That guy throws a truckload, but whether it's going to be in the strike zone or not, the guess is yours or mine.
Yeah.
Those type of pitchers also rely on a lot of hey, for the first time I see Pasty hopping into the stream, and Jonathan is also on. Pasty's comment, Mason Miller as well. He is another high velocity arm who has a great differential with his breaking pitch over 20 miles an hour. So it sort of seems like it's unfair, but
no, but
I will bring up a Jonathan comment, a Jonathan Scarnacup. Juan Soto left you guys for the Mets, and the Yankees stink. Thank you for your opinion. However, it is your opinion. There are a lot of fans that would argue the contrapositive and would say that the Yankees are better off without Juan Soto. Only the end of the season will tell what is true and what is not. I know that we have a Subway Series coming up against the Mets in the month of May, and we'll see what we see.
Yeah, and also the thing too, I mean, it was the money, and then it was what Soto's mom wanted. That's what it kind of came down to with Juan Soto. I mean, the Yankees weren't too far off, unless you add all the incentives, like the suite and everything else.
Personally, from the Yankee perspective, and my perspective, Juan Soto chose to leave the Yankees. I'm fine with that. He got his bag of cash from the Mets, and his personal choice, his personal legacy, and wish him good luck. Don't wish him any ill will. I think that we are a more well-rounded team without him than we were with him, and I wish him all the luck in Citi Field.
Yeah, because imagine if we did re-sign Soto. You think we would have gotten Max Fried to that big contract?
Nope, not a chance in hell. Bring up a comment from CT. Speed means nothing. We've seen pitchers that can deliver without throwing their arms out. And then Real Bill P's follow-up comment, Greg Maddox proves that speed is overrated. Location, location, location.
Maddox, Seaver. I mean, even Charlie Morton, who's still pitching in the majors. There's a few others. I mean, what was it? Pedro was what, about 94, 95?
Yep.
Yeah, wasn't a hard thrower, but he was a guy that he was a workhorse, could eat up innings, and he could dominate on, consistently.
And I will bring up an FJ comment. Greg Maddox lived on pitches just outside the strike zone being called strikes or people swinging at them. He is fortunate. I'm assuming that he's talking about the pitch, the ABS system would have changed the dynamics of his pitching. Perhaps, but he lived within the rules of the time and now considered one of the greatest pitchers of all time, at least in my era.
Yeah, I mean, but then you also had guys that were power pitchers the whole time, and they had long careers of dominance. Roger Clemens.
I see that Joe is backstage again, and we will bring him up. And to bring up another pasty comment, Williams will be fine. His baseball card is too good just to fall off. He has the New York yips. Well,
hey, sometimes
as we've talked about on many different shows, there truly is an adjustment period coming to a new team, and coming to the Bronx is certainly he's coming from Milwaukee, which is not the hotbed of media, to the Bronx where the Sharks circle everything. So he's got a lot more exposure than he's ever had. And want to welcome Joe jumping up.
How you doing, guys?
Another Ducky Day in paradise.
Another. Are we all waiting for the same lineup for tonight? Or I'm thinking possibly a couple of changes. Or I'm hoping anyway.
Probably a change
we will
to
see.
The leadoff. You'll probably see Ben Rice.
For those of you that are not familiar, Joe is the content creator for NY Yankees Mania. I've been doing some pre-games and post-games with him on the channel. It's a good time to be had for all, so I recommend that anyone who is in the stream sign up for Joe's stream on YouTube. We called the Game 1 play-by-play of the doubleheader on Sunday. And I know that Joe has a special announcement for all of you out there. Take it away, Joe.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so first of all, I wanted to give a shout out to Cold Italian Pizza. Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate that. Well, the announcement really is tonight I'm going to be doing my first play-by-play live. I'm going to go on around 6:25, go over the lineups and everything, and that will bring us right to the game. I have invited Ken. Hopefully Ken may or may not join us, but he's definitely welcome for the stream. And I'll be taking a lot of comments and just really looking forward to a good game, a good calling game. And you guys, I need your rah-rah because I'm learning from one of the best in Ken. And I'm just really looking forward to it. So tonight's game will be on New York Yankee Mania. The play-by-play, just in case you don't have the Yes Network, or you're just, you're not interested in putting on your radio. Well, we're the next best thing. So that's what we're here for. And thank you, Ken. Thanks for everything you're doing and you've done for me.
Not a problem, brother. We content creators support each other, and we have a nice little family going here. If you could, would you please drop your link into the chat, Joe, for your stream? David Burnside's asked for you to do that. Dave's
Sure.
a good guy, and he's a team bowler with me on. He's our anchor guy and the best bowler on our team.
Oh, great. I'd love to. I wish I to come out there and see you guys bowl. That was my second love for many years, until unfortunately I started working overnight. Love bowling. So keep it up, guys. It's great recreation.
And we have Stephen B in the background. Give him a shout out. We actually on this stream hit my high count for live viewers. We had 20 viewers in one pop. So I want to thank everyone for taking the time to show up. I know we ran about 15 minutes late starting the show this morning. I had some technical difficulties and had to sort them out.
Did that come up on the link, Ken? Because I'm limited when I'm on the phone.
Nope. Do you have the address? It came up in the private chat.
Oh, private chat. Okay. Sorry, it won't allow me to do much.
All
So
right,
if
no
you'd be
problem.
kind enough, you'd like to do it, I would appreciate it, or maybe Sean, somebody, I would appreciate that. But on the phone, I'm limited. They won't allow you to do too much.
Go ahead, keep the conversation going, brothers.
But
I type this thing in.
yeah. So, what do you think, Joe, about how the lineup, and not only just the lineup, but how the bullpen in general is?
Well, I love the bullpen. Yarborough really saved the full bullpen. He's been a godsend for the Yankees. I don't know how Cashman does it, but he just gets these guys that have been washouts plenty of times for other teams. They come here, and it's sort of like in a smaller category way, just like the Tampa Bay Rays. They get a pitcher from left field, or he used to be a bat boy or something, and they turn him into Roger Clemens. So kudos to what Cashman does, time in and time out. He's not always right, but I would say good 83% he's on the money with these, and it's basically saved the Yankees. He may not be the greatest in starting pitching, but he's definitely very, very good in the bullpen.
Oh yeah, I mean diamonds in the rough. He's just taking these guys, Weaver, Holmes, after a lot of these guys, Michael Tonkin last year, the guy that looked like Mr. Belding from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Those guys, yeah, I mean, he turned Holmes from a guy that had 5-something ERA with the Pirates, and now the Mets somehow thought and have seemingly found something, converted him into a starter, but somehow they were fooled on what we did with Clay Holmes.
Oh, yeah.
And And then Luke Weaver, we were talking about him. I mean, the guy that started in the KBO, came over with Arizona, was a starter for a while, but converted to
Yeah, they took a flyer
being a
on him.
bullpen guy.
They took a
Yeah.
flyer on him in September of 2 years ago. He looked pretty good, and they decided to give him a contract. And thank God they did, because somebody else would have been reaping the benefits. The one thing
Oh, yeah.
I'm very surprised with, and I want to get both the guys' opinions and the chat room. Would everybody
Give me a
like to
sec.
see? Would everybody like to see David Robinson come back to the Yankees? He is not with any team. I know he's 40 years old, and I believe he still has a lot in the tank. Sean, what do you think about that?
Give me a sec.
Uh,
I'm bringing up a comment from Real Bill. I've got to
Okay.
run, folks. Go Yankees. Thanks, Ken, Sean, and Joe. Be safe and take care.
The same
You
to you,
too.
Real Bill.
all right, Bill.
Appreciate you supporting the stream, and hope to see you at tonight's play-by-play. With regard to the Joe's play-by-play this evening, I actually have my granddaughter's spring concert that she sings in the chorus for, and that starts
Great.
at 6:30. So I will be at the concert for a while. When I get back, I may try to hop on.
That would be great. Wish her well. Wish her luck. Take a lot of video. There's nothing like that. I just did that with my great nephew, and it was what an eye opener. It was so good. These kids are so talented. We just don't know it, but it's right under our noses. So, Ken, I wish I was in. I wish I was coming, because I love to see that. Kids are amazing. That's what makes all of us keep moving on.
Yeah. Wish her well. Hopefully, it's a great show. Or what they say.
Will do.
Break a leg.
But
Well, my granddaughter, she's very talented. She sings, she plays piano. She's very good at both. That
maybe
is
we have
certainly not a talent that she picked up from me. Her grandmother is my wife is very talented, and that's where she gets her talent from.
it's amazing the last couple of years, the young talents that are coming out. I don't know if you guys got a chance, but if you get a chance, go on YouTube, check out Lucy Thomas, who's a 20-year-old sensation. Connie Talbot, that was a 4-year-old at one time on America's Got Talent. They are absolutely breathtaking. What voices! So there's definitely room for more as the singers keep getting a little bit older, and we need, just like baseball, the out with the old and in with the new, and hopefully,
Hey,
what scares me is I can't believe that Aaron Judge was I twist and turn thinking 33 years old. Where did it go? When we grew up with Don Mattingly, and they aged. It didn't go as fast. But before you turn around, this man is 33 years old. It's amazing. So that's why we've got to enjoy every minute of Aaron Judge and some of these crops of people, because they're not going to be here forever, just like everybody else. And I wish he was like 25 years old. That would be fantastic. But
To
go ahead.
to go back to your original question, Joe, the feel about D-Rob coming back to the Yankees. I advocated for the Yankees to make a trade with the Rangers last season at the deadline to bring D-Rob home. I understand there are some hard feelings between him and the organization, but he's still a very talented pitcher. He knows how to pitch in New York, and he can still get it done.
100%.
hey, you know what? I would even bring him back. I mean, look at Bartolo Colon back in the days. Man, he preached to what, almost 50? But he kept being a dominant reliever. And he could hit a home run, too.
Yeah, the Mets never let you forget that. That's on every one of their promos. No knock on SNY, which, by the way, has some very good programming. They really do.
No, and there's just some people that they can, no matter, they just got ice in their veins, and D-Rob was one of them, that they can just, no matter the situation, they can just pitch well and perform even when the lights are brightest.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
And I will bring a comment up from FJ. Wouldn't mind Robertson returning. Any help that we can get. Yeah, I don't think that bringing D-Rob back would break the bank either. I think that we could bring him back on a short-term deal at low cost, and definitely fortify the bullpen.
And even
bringing up a comment from Cold Italian Pizza, that's why the Yankees need to win now. Judge suddenly is 33 years old, and wholeheartedly agree. Don't want to see him go through his career like Donnie Baseball and not end up with a ring in the Bronx.
Well, yeah, you know how much they're already knocking him for not having a ring and barely performing in the playoffs, but he hasn't had too much. And even when he has to have opportunities in the playoffs, he's worn out from hitting 62 home runs and carrying the team throughout the whole regular season.
Well, the one thing he has over Mattingly so far is that he did hit the World Series and still has many years. If it wasn't for that back with Mattingly, could you imagine? Mattingly finally saw the playoffs his last year, but then came 96, 97, 98, and those years, Mattingly was still young enough to still be a force on the Yankees. And, that would have been fantastic. But, unfortunately, it just wasn't meant to be. But, that just happens to some players. No matter what they do, they go every year. They're on a different team and they're in the championship. Then there are guys that stay with one team and just can't smell the World Series. I mean, it's the luck of the draw. That's sports. That's the beauty of sports. There's always next year.
In basketball, you had Patrick Ewing, you had Charles Barkley, you had Karl Malone. All those guys had one thing in common: great careers, Hall of Fame, but they kept running into Jordan in the finals.
100%.
The long and short, the one postseason that Donnie Baseball had, he was a fantastic hitter. He did a great job for the Yankees.
Oh, yes.
No, Donnie Baseball belongs in the Hall of Fame. Even George Brett, Mr. I Hate the Yankees so much, says Donnie is the best hitter in baseball. So he belongs in the Hall of Fame.
It is outrageous that man still holding so much grudge against the Yankee team. The same thing like Ken Griffey Jr. and to a certain extent Vladimir Guerrero. I mean, there are circumstances, and it's like you can't get past it. It's a little ridiculous, but
well, and then there's also
I'm going to bring up a comment from Pasty. Last year was our year to do it, and we failed. We choked when the lights were bright. In my opinion, we need a lot to work out itself before we go back. Well, we did not perform to the Yankee way against the Dodgers, without a doubt. Some of it was lack of player performance. Some of it was managerial decisions, but that's baseball. That's why we don't play it on the paper. We play it in the field. And sure, we weren't fully prepared. I think we had some injury issues and things to deal with, just like the Dodgers did. They just played better than us. Hats off. They won the series and would like to kick their asses this year in a return fiesta.
Well, yeah, that's what happens. Go ahead, Joe.
No. Go ahead. No.
What I'm saying, that's what happens when you get to the World Series. The team that plays the better series is the one that's going to win. It's not always the better team rosterly or on paper, but in the case with the Dodgers, they played better, they had more stuff, but yeah, they performed better and they executed better. We did it. Bottom line.
Right. And we had definitely two games that we dropped, so we could have won it. We would have at least won three games. I still believe game one was I mean, obviously that was anybody's game. And then the debacle, well, then we won one, and then the debacle of game five. So that's three right there. And you don't know what else would have happened if we would have went back to LA. It
Right.
just wasn't in the cards. It just, that was it. It had to end that way. It was to a certain extent. It brought a lot of joy to Yankee fans and they just kept going and going and going and made a ton of money in the process. But that doesn't bring the world championship, and you got to keep going and going. And I give the Steinbrenner family a lot of credit. Um, and the only thing that I have against them, like I've been saying all along, when you go this far and you're that close, I don't like that either they don't do anything, or they nickel and dime, and that's the wrong thing to do. I still
Right.
don't like that concept.
That, and I mean, the one thing I don't get that concept either, but I do understand the frustration with how that, he's got to pay the revenue sharing, all these other small market teams, and then you got the luxury tax on top. It's kind of hard, but at the same time, if you got the money, spend it and make the team better.
Oh yeah, no
Don't
question about it.
you
No
can
question.
always
All right. I see that
always bring
Sunil has jumped into the background, so I'm going to add him to the stage.
What's going
Hey,
on, guys?
Sunil, welcome.
Not much. How you doing?
Welcome.
Yeah. Bad game last night.
To say the least.
Yeah, I mean we had our opportunities, so and we failed to capitalize, especially the first inning. My goodness, bases loaded, that's 2 outs, and you still can't score a run.
Well, 2 outs I can understand sometimes. It's when the Yankees do this with 1 out and nobody out, and they end up getting nothing and have to sweat to get one. 2 outs, I mean, really, it's a 50-50 chance. But no outs with the bases loaded, you should be able to get a run. I mean, and the Yankees are just notorious for not doing that, and that's why they don't win extra inning games. And I wish that phantom runner in the 10th inning has got to go. Thank God it's not in
The
the
man
playoffs.
fraud runner.
Yeah.
Manfred needs to go.
No. Get the name right. It's man fraud.
Either way, he's got to go too.
That's Sunil's old man humor.
Well, Ken's older than me, but he still doesn't appreciate my humor. That's just Ken.
I just understand it though.
We're just giving
I
you.
mean, a lot of people out there think that Benny Hill is funny too, and I couldn't disagree more. So,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think I saw two episodes of Benny Hill, and I said, "Arrivederci." That's not for me.
Yeah.
I am going to bring up a comment from Pasty made a little bit ago. Pasty's comment is, "We win the World Series as Soto stays." What are your thoughts?
I almost think he would have gone either way because, I mean, the way it's all about family. And Cohen had to throw in the suite, the entourage to go shopping for his family and all that extra stuff. I don't see that, how Steinbrenner would have gone all that way. I mean, especially not a whole suite because
No.
Jeter didn't get it. A lot of legends never got those opportunities.
No. No way. And no, you got to stand your ground somewhere when you're offering someone 725, $30 million. Come on now. I mean, do you not for nothing, but every time his mom comes and visits City Field, she gets new outfits. I mean, where is it enough? Where does it stop? If you
Well,
can't afford to buy your mother an outfit when you're making all right, you're not getting it all at once, but you're making $61 million this year. You can't tell me you can't give her $50 to go out and buy an outfit. Come on, that's a little extreme.
Joe,
He,
here's a perspective that would tickle your fancies a little bit, and Ken, possibly yours too. If you add up, if you add up the salary the Mets are giving Soto with the endorsements Soto's got altogether, you've got money to spare after you deduct what the Marlins salary as a team, all those players put together, is
Mhm.
not more than 69 million. I'm pretty sure Soto's endorsements and salary and everything are well north of 80 million. You've
Oh,
got plenty of money to spare. What the hell are you even talking about?
well, if you look at Shohei Otani
Oh yeah,
and
there's
his
another one.
his deal, Otani is making $2 million off the Dodgers per season until his
Yeah.
deferrals kick in. But Otani makes 150 mil a year in his
endorse.
endorsements. So
Yeah, the
it
dude's
was
gonna be a
something
billionaire by the time he
similar
retires.
to the Jordan time frame. Jordan would take $1 million a year for salary so that they could build a good team around him. But Jordan made back in his day over 30 million a year in endorsements.
Yeah.
So the whole concept of Soto being comped for stuff that he's got more money than some small countries is sickening to me, and I think
And
that that is
and we
part of
didn't
the
even touch.
reason that we are going to end up with a freaking strike come the end of next season, and it's going to be all about the almighty dollar.
Hmm.
Oh, without a
Yeah.
doubt, without a doubt. But some of these teams have got it. Come on, they've got to start spending. I mean, Miami's a joke. Yeah, they might win a game here and there. It's a joke. They don't spend anything. Washington tries.
Oakland.
They get some players, but come on. You play those teams. It's pathetic. It really is. I mean,
Well, yeah, then
enough already.
you got
It,
Oakland and their
The
semi-pro team.
the
but
thing
they
that I
spent
think
some money though.
this CBA is going to focus around is the salary cap that the owners want to install, because truly, how many of these damn contracts do you think Major League Baseball can continue to do without the fans ending up paying the price in the long run?
Yeah,
Uh,
with all these money grabs around the streaming services that follow as well.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Now you
and
never
and
know
the thing
where
that
you're going to find the Yankees. Today they're
Yeah.
on Yes, tomorrow they're on Amazon. The next day they could be on Apple. The next day they're on Fox.
Oh
The
yeah.
next day, I mean, it's ridiculous.
And now Roku's gotten into the whole thing as well.
Oh, and then you got
okay,
FanDuel TV.
I see
They're
CT
stepping away
Cards
from
is
Valley
hopping up
Sports.
to beat his drum, so I'm going to bring CT up.
Yeah.
All right, CT, welcome, brother. Appreciate you being here.
How you guys all doing here?
Hey, big guy, what's
Going
going
on?
on?
The more
Hey,
the merrier. Join the party.
I did. You guys brought up something. Minute you brought it up, I had to bring this up. You brought up like Roku and all this. It's the same thing with football. I just want to watch a game, and now I need to spend hundreds of dollars to be able, if not $1,000 a year, to watch all these games. That's full depressing, and I don't like what the Yes Network's doing. I don't like how we have to watch games on Prime. I don't like. Luckily I have this. I know I shouldn't mention it, but I have a website that lets you stream games for free. Luckily, because I'd be missing out on a lot of baseball and sports if I didn't. And it's kind of gotten to a weird point that we've gotten to who has the money for all this? We're talking about these players wanting suites and stuff, and they're making hundreds of millions of dollars, let's say, and yet the poor man here just wants to watch the sport. I don't know. It's just my 2 cents on the thing.
And-
Sorry.
No,
Oh, yeah.
you make a lot of sense. Definitely.
And then
The
the worst thing
the
about it
long and short,
is like
baseball is becoming unaffordable for the average Joe.
Exactly.
I
not
know
only
that,
you gotta suffer.
my kid to go to the Bronx and buy tickets for decent seats for his family of 4. That outing for 3 hours of entertainment is going to cost him $1,200
$1,200. That's more
for
than
3
my
hours
rent.
worth of entertainment.
So Ken, here's where I gotta chime in real quick on this one. So you talk about games on MLB.TV. At the very basic, okay? Before we even get into the games that are on MLB Network, ESPN, FS1, Roku, Amazon Prime,
CBS.
a whole. See, yeah, whatever the channel be, and insert channel name here. Let's just put a very generic placeholder for that. All right. Through my T-Mobile stuff, I'm getting MLB TV Premium every year free. So I don't have to shell out the 140, 150, or whatever the astronomical number is for that anymore.
Me too.
You've got Apple TV, depending on the plan you have through T-Mobile, you also get Apple TV on them free for the life. You don't have to pay their 5, 8, 9, whatever monthly subscription fee is there. So I'm saving there as well. So I get to watch the Apple TV games. I'm already an Amazon Prime subscriber already, so I get the Prime Video. Even the Prime Video games show up on my Apple TV, MLB.TV premium subscription that I'm getting through T-Mobile anyway, so I'm covered there. The only ones that don't show up for me are the ones on Peacock and the ones on Apple TV when it comes to the MLB.TV premium subscription. Luckily, T-Mobile gives you Apple TV on us where I can get to see the Friday night game. So at least, there are strategies out there where you can save some of this money, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that it's a complete egregious overkill.
Well, the other
Why
thing,
do you need to go to 9 different?
Sunil, you got to remember like where I live, T-Mobile does not work. Their
Oh
service.
yeah, I get that. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they have a great deal on paper, but if the self-service doesn't work,
Yeah, it's a moot point. I get it. Yeah. Network coverage is like real estate. It's all about location.
Yeah. Well, and then
I get
here's
it.
the other thing too. You're paying money for all these different subscriptions, and some of them, like Apple TV, have the worst broadcasting ever.
We won't even get into that. I can't even look at them. I mean, they have that one girl that has all the different color hairs. They got. I mean, it's just an absolute joke.
Well, the
Absolute
one
joke.
the one thing that I will give Apple TV credit for, it's definitely not MLB. I'm with you guys there 100%. They have the rights now to MLS Season Pass, which T-Mobile also gives you. They've given it to you like in 23, 2 years ago. And last year they let it stand alone on its own. Then this year, when they saw that it completely fell off, when that whole 1 year, completely into bed for them, they brought it back. So that's the benefit of having Apple TVs. You get MLS Season Pass for free as well. MLS Season Pass is another $80 to $100 a year to watch Major League Soccer. But at least over there, unlike with MLB, they have seasoned professional soccer players actually doing the broadcast, which I think MLB should provide some, a certain demographic of people who are not affiliated with like MLB Network. They should provide Apple TV with actual knowledgeable broadcasting and basically make that worthwhile. Maybe they would see an uptick, because I think I've read a report that even Apple TV Plus is becoming not sustainable had it not been for this one TV show named Severance and maybe a couple others. Apple
I'm bringing
TV
up
Plus Yeah,
A comment
Apple
from
TV Plus would
Pasty.
have like, shit the bed a long time ago.
Pasty's comment is, I actually love the ump cam. And then
Yeah.
Steven's follow-up is, the ump cam falls off by the second inning. Rob says it's the worst thing. It's worse than scrap metal talking.
Another thing we didn't even touch base on, and just one final comment on that is I think it's disgusting that the Yankees don't have in New York City, the biggest market, a local channel. I think that, I mean, yeah, you could say yes, but that's not local. Everybody see you need to have a private. At least the Mets, Saturdays and Sundays, they're going to be on Pix 11 here in New York City. And why aren't the Yankees back? They were sharing it up until a couple of years ago, and then this Amazon thing that dangled to Hal, and that was it. It's like, forget it. That doesn't matter. We don't need a local channel. How can you not have a local channel? Then you know what? Take them off of local radio too. If we're not good enough to watch them, then we're not good enough to have them on the radio.
But
mean,
you guys in New York and that area also have the Guardian Network, and that is not available to people that are outside of the Triborough area.
You mean the Gotham Network?
Or Gotham Network, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Excuse
Yeah,
me.
the Gotham app. Yeah.
No, okay, but that's still that doesn't mean for the person that can't afford. I mean, there are people that I know, senior citizens or whatever, down the line of friends of mine's family, that they just can't go for a big package of cable. And
Yeah.
even a small package of cable is $100 a month now. Years ago, up until even 10 years ago, if you just had basic cable, it was like $40, $50. It doubled.
I miss
And,
the
you
antenna
know,
days.
that's the point that that I was trying to make is with these big salary grabs for the players, it's making it very difficult for the everyday fan to enjoy baseball itself. It's damn sure at the stadium, but even the guys that don't live in the area who don't have the option, you have to pay. And these owners are giving these big contracts out on deferrals and whatnot, but the people that are truly paying for baseball are the everyday fans. And if you make it unattainable for the youth to even begin to enjoy baseball, you're going to lose your fan base altogether. And
Oh
that'll
yeah,
basically
100%.
be the death of baseball because of the almighty dollar.
right.
Me personally,
I mean,
I would like to see them implement the max contract that you can offer is a 5-year deal.
yeah.
That would make
why not?
Listen.
salaries more competitive for everyone across the board. But that shit is never going to happen. The Players Association will never agree to that type.
You know when
No,
they're going to feel it, you guys? You know
And-
when they're going to feel all this? When a guy like Aaron Judge retires. There is not going to, I mean, they're going to be they're going to be stars on the Yankees and all that. But let's face it, when he's not playing, when he's not there anymore, that's when they're going to feel it in the stands and things are going to start changing. Because unless they come up with another Aaron Judge, which is very hard to do, because like Mariano Rivera, that's a once in a lifetime thing. The people are filling up Yankee Stadium because of Aaron Judge. They're not coming there to see Chaz Chisholm Jr. Let's face it.
No.
So when that's gone, I know for a fact 45,000 people are all not going back, paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
Well,
It ain't gonna happen.
Joe, you know who Jazz Chisholm Jr. really reminds me of as a fictitious Hollywood baseball player?
Who's that?
Willie Mays Hayes from the Major League movies. You may run like Mays, but you hit like shit.
Well, you're
gonna-
too young to
I
remember.
want to do. I want to do a quick shout out.
Okay.
We have a 362 Chop. Welcome to the stream. I haven't seen you before. Thanks for coming in.
Welcome.
His comment is Thurman belongs before Mattingly. I'm assuming that we're talking the Hall.
Yeah. I
And
agree with that.
Thurman certainly does deserve to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Munson's stats before he untimely died in that plane crash. He's better than some of these borderline guys that the Veterans Committee put in a couple years ago. He's one of the best catchers of all time. His prime was cut short, unfortunately, because he died.
And
I
one
think
thing,
I'm going to bring up I'm going to bring up a comment from Justin Custodio. I don't think it's just the players' salaries. The owners would be doing this anyways. The players just want a bigger piece of the pie.
The pie can only get so big. How big a piece can you really split out to each person? That's what it boils down to.
right? Yeah, no question about it.
And then, do you really want to spend your rent money going to a game?
No,
because I mean,
rent or mortgage or
the
anything like
cost to
that.
go to a game is sometimes more than what rent you got to pay.
Yeah, but that holds true for everything. I mean, come to Broadway. Come to Broadway play if you want to sit anywhere decent, and you're a family of four. It's $1,000, $800, maybe if you get like the 12th row or the 13th. I mean, what these people. I'll give you just a quick example. I don't want to go off the topic, but a guy like a superstar, somebody like an Andrea Bocelli, he's coming into Madison Square Garden every Christmas. Do you know his cheapest seat is like $850?
Jeez.
I can't even tell you what down below in Madison Square Garden what the seats are. I just saw it for like $3,500, and that's like row 8. So I mean, it's disgusting. It's totally disgusting.
We used to
I'm
go
gonna
to
buy for that
we-
price. I'm gonna buy my 85-inch TV, put it above my fireplace mantle in my family room, put a nice sound bar and sound system, and hope they can stream that stuff. And I'm satisfied.
You mentioned Madison Square Garden, Joe. How the price of tickets. We used to go to see Grateful Dead shows at Madison Square Garden, and it was like $15 a ticket.
Sure.
$15 a ticket, and that was back in the 90s. So somehow we've gone from $15 a ticket to, where we are now. There's something not right about that.
No.
I'm going to bring up a comment from Jason Custodio. If they push the cap, the players will go on strike.
Yeah.
Don't disagree with that at all. As a matter of fact, when we lost the '94 postseason, it was all about the owners trying to implement a cap at that time, and the only way that we played ball in '95 was a federal mediator and a judge reinstating the old CBA. So
and did some teams
it may end up coming to the same thing this cycle if we go into a strike.
I agree.
Did some
Yeah,
teams
they went on strike in July or something that year, if I remember.
I think it was July.
Yeah, it was late
whatever.
July. The Yankees were steamrolling. They had a really good team. They were definitely marching to get into the playoffs. It was the last year before the wild card started.
Yeah.
And then that was it. And they, believe me, what they had to beg the fans to come back. What they were doing was, I mean, I used to cover a few of the games in that era, and you had to see, come here, so and so, come here, sign the ball, do this, give him a bat, give him this. They were giving everything to the fan. They couldn't take. They were begging for the fans to come back. And I'll tell you, if they go on strike now, it's not going to be any better. Not at all.
Yeah, they dropped the season longevity from a 162 game schedule to like I think it was like a 144
Yeah,
schedule. Yeah, something like that.
yeah.
Bring, bringing up a comment from Pacey. The craziest thing to think about in baseball is if you're in the MLB, you're part of the 1% that made it. Even Joey Gallo is in that.
Yeah, and Gallo's trying to reinvent himself as a pitcher now, from what I'm hearing.
But
All right, fellas, we have hit the 1 hour and 20 minute mark for this stream. So I'm going to shut it down here in the next couple.
Yeah.
If we could get your final thoughts, starting with you, Sunil. Go ahead.
So look at the Yankees' illustrious history, and real quickly, you can see how many numbers they have retired because of the players, prestigious careers and the elite accomplishments they've got. So you have so many single and double digit numbers already retired. At what point do you start going into triple digit jersey numbers? At what point do jersey numbers start becoming area codes?
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yankees have no numbers left.
Yeah.
and
So this
And
was
that makes
this was a conversation that came up like yesterday on Uncle Tat's stream a couple of times, once in the morning and then once on this after dark. So I just thought I'd bring it up real quick.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
But there's
I'm
some
going to drop you
numbers-
down, Sunil. Thank you.
take care, Sinner.
All right.
And Joe, last thoughts?
I'm looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to the stream. And I hope you have a fantastic time tonight. Enjoy every minute of it, and always go to these things with your granddaughters, with your kids. It's the greatest thing. It's the greatest show on earth, and I don't mean the circus. I do mean it's fantastic, and just have a great time. If you do come, when you do come home, by all means, you want to come, you come on, by all means do that, and let's go Yankees. So guys, talk to you, Sean. I hope to see you later, and we'll talk later. Have a good day, guys.
Thank you. And Sean, last thoughts?
And hey, enjoy your thing. And family's everything. But yeah, let's go Yankees. Let's bounce back and win 2 out of 3 in Baltimore.
All right. And my final thoughts for the stream. First of all, I want to thank everyone who showed up in the stream and the people that came up on the panel. Jonathan Early, Sunil, CT Cards, Joe, and Sean. Thank you. I appreciate the support. For those of you that are out there, please take the time to go to NY Yankees Mania to sign up. He's got some great things going on. When he hits his 100 fan subscription level, he's got a special giveaway. He's going to do play-by-play tonight. Often we do pre and post-game reviews, so it's going to be an active channel and something that you should take the time to enjoy. For those of you who haven't, please hit the like and subscribe button. I want to thank the folks for coming in. And if you think that your friends will find value in the content that we offer here, please send it out to them with share it with them and give us a recommendation. And I will end this stream with my standard. Let's go Yankees.
You got it.
Have a good afternoon.
Take care, guys.